stopped into a church. I passed along the way. Well, I got down on my knees, and I pretend to pray. You know the preacher like to call. He knows I'm gonna stay.
Can you believe it? Do you get it? Do you get the great reference? That's the Chungking Express song. Can you believe it? Hey, let me tell you something. This microphone's in by a millimeter of insertion. I'll tell you that much, chat, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to be fucking with it this whole stream because it's pissing me off. Oh my god, I played National Park from Pokemon Gold and Silver on piano at the park. Now that is crazy. Now that's a concept, chat. We need more of that now videos. Oh my goodness. Speaking of videos, we uploaded a video, can you believe it? We'll get to that in due time though. We can get rid of this. We can get rid of that. We didn't stream yesterday, did we? It was the day before, I believe. Yes, the 8th or something? I uploaded that VOD. We were reacting to this Oscar video. Maybe we'll get back to that at the end. There is some stuff to talk about though. There's always some consuming going on. They really want me to watch this Kendrick Lamar performance, huh? It's everywhere. But I don't know, it's just a Super Bowl performance. It's not actually going to be good. The crowd's not going to be singing along. Anyway, WWE is uploading all their fucking shit. And they won't stop recommending it to me. That one, this NXT show. Remember, this is the one with the Bayley Sasha match. Crazy. What a bunch of bullshit, as we say. I guess tweets is probably the best way to talk about things. We've got media consumption, of which there has been quite a bit. We've got a Pokemon video. Don't be like Elite True, that's what we always say. I'm not watching a Pokemon video. What an embarrassment he is. 5 minutes long it is. Exporting, as long as the copyright doesn't fuck me, which it didn't even give me one check, which is crazy, because I feel like there's like 7 or 8 second long clips in there. You know, it's crazy. Diebuster is the 3rd best anime of all time. You know, I was just doing the math in my head one night before I was going to bed, because I think I rewatched one of my song list videos. And I was like, the great Diebuster will never leave home. Only Evangelion and Black Lagoon are even close. You know, the great Naruto Shippuden also has a 10 out of 10 on Mal. But those are the only 4 full anime with it. Can you believe it? Did you watch Fantastic? Oh, I actually haven't seen the trailer, and I was like, oh, we'll do it on stream. We can do that. Is this going to get me copyright fucked? Do they do that yet? Oh my god, Roman Reigns makes his NXT debut. This is massive. Oh my god, was that an Uso in the first match? It was. I think it was both of them. That's crazy. Fantastic Four trailer. I did watch the teaser thing of like the kids going around and all the comments were making fun of them because they had the same laugh the whole time, so that was very embarrassing. What? We've got another one? Oh, that's a... Oh, is there another one today because of the Super Bowl? Because this Thunderbolts looks like it's from today too. You can't even tell me the plot of Die Buster. You see, why would I give a fuck about a plot? Should we put this in theater mode? I was thinking about this when I was watching back my my shitty video essays video. Where is it? No, I'm trying to click 2, not make my volume go down, you piece of shit fucking in the dark. What the fuck is this? No, 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 no. Oh my god, me and Alita are famous for whatever reason. We just got 200 views on this one. I was watching this and I was like, well, shut the fuck up. We should definitely be in theater mode if we're gonna do this. So remind me of this. Oh my goodness, that's the classic Fantastic Four sound effect. So let me get this dumb movie, because Marvel is dead and buried. Now we do this dumb shit, where this movie is in an alternative universe in the 60s or something, where the Fantastic Four existed. But then at the end of the movie, they're going to get teleported over so they can hang out with Iron Man for the next Avengers movie. I think that's the setup you have to understand any of these shitty movies anymore. Marvel's dead. Just make Spider-Man. We don't care about this shit anymore. I remember when Robert Downey Jr. came out and he was going to be Doctor Doom. That was pretty epic. So we have to watch this shitty movie to get references for the next Avengers movie. But I'm not watching anything else. Just this one. What else is coming out? Thunderbolts, pass. What just came out? All those Doctor Strange movies, never seen one of them. Only saw Ant-Man 1. Thor, never seen any of them. Any others? I don't remember.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point
We do love the 60s. Oh my god, that's Joel
to
Miller.
family dinner every week.
Stop pausing.
Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Oh, is that Sue Strange? No, that's not a name. Sue Storm? No, that's not a name. Is the name Sue? She turns invisible. Jessica played her one.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming? Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
That's the thing.
Okay. Is
Remember, he had a blind girlfriend in the 2004 movie.
this guy good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not
Why is his head so small?
because it's not delicious. I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
Why is he cooking?
T-5.
Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Oh my god, they're going back. That's the bad guy right there. Or is this the flame guy?
Looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
No, that's the flame guy, obviously.
Ben has
Now,
always
the flame guy is her brother, I think.
been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi!
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
Is Galactus gonna be there? What's happening? Oh my god, he was.
As a
I forgot
family.
if I already knew that. That's crazy. We love the great Galactus. He's cool.
As a family.
Now, chat, it's about family. First steps, do we know that was the thingy yet? July, I'm busy July. Now, this trailer was boring until we got this shot. Well, that one's pretty cool. But, until we get this shot. Hold on. This one, it looks like an old Spider-Man movie. Look at New York, it looks old and stuff, and there's these water thingies on the top. So that is good. We like old Spider-Man aesthetic. And then we saw Galactus. And that's an old guy. Oh, and Silver Surfer's going to be a lesbian or something. Tyrone Magnus told me one time. So, you know, they worked it up. It's terrible. But an incredible trailer. CeeLo Pilled is here. CeeLo Pilled, yes, it's Sue Storm. Why would her name be Storm? That's that X-Men girl. CeeLo Pilled is here, who recently left a comment on the Kyle ENT VODs channel. Maybe the only man in history to ever do it. He's also 18 now, so that was literal. And he said, I wonder who's read more Blood Meridian. Silopid, I'll tell you, as long as you haven't gone backwards, you've still read more than me. I haven't read much at all in either of the books in the last few days. You know, I'm just such a video gamer and a movie watcher. So, but I am falling behind. I was like, maybe I can finish like Heart of Darkness this month. I don't know. I've got like 20 days left, maybe less. 20 days have September, April. Is it 28 or 29? I forget which one February usually has. Kyle, I liked your new video. I was reminded of that first shot literally the day before your video came out. It was crazy. We'll talk about the video in a second. Tyrone's the only one on the internet who hated the trailer. Well, he also hated the Superman trailer. Maybe he's just a hater in his old age. You ever think about that? No, that's crazy. I mean, we may as well talk about this now. This video, you know, it's a thingy. It's a whole thought. Half a thought, maybe. Now, it was doing pretty bad. But then it swung up to like 200 views in like the last... Oh, yeah. Make sure you downvote Jack Bacon's comment. His Villain Saga propaganda. It was on like less than 100 views for like the first 8 or 9 hours. But it has shot up like recently. Do you think this is definitely not a subscriber video? Though I think you definitely have to get out of the mindset of thinking anything is a subscriber video, because subscribers really don't matter, I don't think. Especially on a dead channel, I guess. Like, all of these videos that perked up a little bit all did well from outside viewership, right? Like this Madoka video, and now this one more recently. And I think this has a lot of outside appeal. Me and Miller were already talking about this, but there is something off. It is nearly there for like one of those weird videos that gets a lot of views. Like the simplistic, recognizable thumbnail. The title is okay. Like, Miller said this where it's like, oh, you can't really... There's no indication that it's like a video essay. It could literally just be the scene or something. And then I said maybe that wouldn't be a bad thing. I also said if it was like, if underneath this it said like Nerd Writer or something, then everybody would understand it was like an essay. But also, yeah, I don't know which one would be better. I talked about this on stream the last few times, but oh my god, I haven't watched a Pokemon episode in like a week either. Oh my god, I figured out my stream notes fucking problem. It had only saved to my computer and what hadn't saved to the OneDrive, so now I had to make a new document. But if we bring up all these fucking Pokemon videos, well, we could probably just do it here. You're not allowed to see fictional ideas documents, chat. Piss off. Oh, I figured out a Mario 64 solution, and that was to do it later, Miller. So my apologies. Originally, the big video was the Pokemon anime took a long time to figure out battles, or something pertaining to this. And now this video originally started with some background on the Pokemon anime, and how it was very cool if you think about the process of actually creating the world in the Pokemon anime, and how they really didn't have much to go off of at all, because all they really had was Pokemon Red and Green, which weren't too fleshed out, and the original Pokemon manga, which is completely different to anything we would consider to be the Pokemon world today. And for them to then, like, make the Pokemon world in the anime, which has sort of become the default Pokemon world in a lot of people's minds, is, like, clever. That was, like, the first page. And then the second page was me shoehorning in the representative idea that's like the back half of this video. And then later in the video, when I'm going through battles, which basically what it comes down to is like, the point of that is that we're like, oh, they were slowly iterating even after the anime had come out on what they wanted the Pokemon world to look like. And one way they did that, we're two pages into this script now, was with Pokemon battles. And how Pokemon battles evolve as action scenes and as sort of writing devices over the first 2.5 seasons of the Pokemon anime. To eventually get to the big climactic 6-on-6 Pokemon battles, which I think are very unique sort of final fights, because it very much is like a group of 6 against another group of 6. And right, if you think about how that would be written in like DBZ or something, it's very interesting. But in Pokemon, this is like the default. And there's a lot of interesting and cool ways you can write around stuff and write to stuff in that sort of context. that was like the conceit of the original video. And the representative thing would just tie into how it's difficult to ever represent anything, and that's why you should give them some leeway on them doing some weird stuff at the beginning of the Pokemon anime. But all these ideas don't really gel together. They sort of do follow. So then I was like, oh, and obviously the first battle in the Pokemon anime is the battle that I talk about in the most recent video. So all that was like, they were like scattered throughout this script. And then I was like, fuck it. Let me just take out these little bits. Because in retrospect, I always hate the way I, like lay out videos. But, like, the point of this video isn't that, like, the fight scene is good. Because, obviously, the fight scene is very limited. Like, it is, like, 30 seconds long in the anime, that is. There is, like, this one cool shot here. And then he's going to hit Nidorino back, and then there's going to be that transition shot. But then it's a static shot of a crowd that moves for, like, 3 seconds. Like, and this is, like, the only bit of, like, fight animation. Like, it's not the coolest thing in the world, which is sort of what Sharky Bacon's making fun of me for here. But that wasn't like the point of the video is that the transition is cool. Is that like they make you think it's like it's like a homage to the Game Boy thing. And then that moment of transition, like everything swaps. Like the aesthetic swaps, the music swaps, the like camera angle swaps, and it's like, oh, this is like the potentiality of the Pokemon anime. And to like it's like a cool idea, it's a cool conceit for the Pokemon anime. That's supposed to be the point of the video. But, like, that's not really stressed at the end. Towards the end, it's sort of like a... And I kind of wanted it to be... Like, the point is obviously, and I choose my language very carefully throughout, where it's not to say that, like, the Game Boy aesthetic is inherently worse or anything. But I feel like you would definitely get that impression, even though I am gentle with the language, that is the case. Like, that is the point. And then I sort of went with the comedic conclusion about like you'll respect that, damn it, or something. This is also designed so like the background video is going to come out next, so and the background video will reference this interpretive point, because it'll basically talk about things like everything and how they sort of had to decide what was what in the Pokemon anime. And then the third video will probably reference these two videos too. So it's like a good setup. I don't know. That also... Because there's good things in that in doing it in 3 parts. Obviously, you split up the views. Obviously, I think this has more potentiality than the second video, though I think the third video also has potentiality to be popular. So you split up the views. You split up the points too, so people can stew on the individual points for longer rather than being all in one big video so they can all forget it at once. But when you're trying to draw like a through line, there's also no guarantee that everybody's going to watch all of the videos in order. So that can be a downfall. And then there's also, like, it also works as shilling the other videos if you reference them in future videos, and people might be curious. But yeah, I don't know. Anything. Come on, Kyle. Get on with it, I think Sealepod meant. I'm a little over half. Oh my god, halfway, he says. So you finally got into the violence parts. That's crazy. But Sealepod is way ahead then. Heath is here. Any plans for Valentine's Day, Kyle? Nope, I'm going to be here alone. Isn't that great? Maybe we'll stream. Isn't that epic? The, I don't know, nearly 400 views in 24 hours is okay. This is a video I'll be optimistic about for a little while, just blowing up at some point. But I don't know if there's much else to say about this video. For this Final Fantasy footage, I had to get it off a YouTube thing because I didn't want to set up a PS1 emulator and then play through the beginning part of this game. But the Pokemon footage I just recorded because it was all easy and all at the beginning of the game. And it was actually pretty easy. I just literally screen recorded in OBS. I didn't even make a new scene or anything. And I think it looks fine. This will probably embolden me to do more gameplay footage for like Pokemon stuff specifically. Moving forward. I don't know if they will be necessary in upcoming videos, but we'll see. Also, the like 11-year-old in me that always wanted to make like less Let's Play videos was like, having a lot of fun with that. I was like, oh my god, it looks cool when you're just like in a menu and it's your like recorded footage. I don't know, it gives us such a different vibe than you get while you're actually playing it. But whatever. This next video shouldn't be too long either, and hopefully it'll be out soon. But don't we say that every time? Anyway, that's the Perk 1 video. If anybody has anything else to say about it, speak now or forever hold your peace. In terms of consuming, we got Rogue One coming up soon. I probably could have done it today if I didn't fall asleep for like 4 hours and then wake up and be like, I fucking said I would stream. Because I wanted to, because I was feeling sleepy, and I'm like, well, streaming while sleepy usually results in shitty streams, I'll tell you that much. So I'm like, I'll just lay down for a little bit. And then I woke up and it was 8 p.m., and I think I went to bed at like 5. So that's not good, but anyway. The assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Now, this is like a famous song / kind of play thing. Jesse James is like one of the most famous cowboys of all time, right? Let's just put a trailer on so you have a visual reference. Brad Pitt is the main character. Can you believe it? The important part is this is from the director of Blonde, The Great Blonde, one of the great movies of all time. 5 out of 5 on Letterboxd to this day. This movie was like, it's an arty movie, kind of like the way Blonde is. I think I 4 stars, but it is one of those, well, I respect it 4 stars. Though the more I have thought about it, the more I like the idea of it, I think. When rated newest first. Yeah, we did give it. Hey, I'm not trying to open tabs here. We did give it 4.5 stars. Look at Brad Pitt here. He's got black hair, can you believe it? Not in my lifetime. Casey Affleck, I don't know his association to Ben Affleck. Is he son or brother? We'll find out. He's an American actor. He has various accolades. It's not going to tell us in this little shitty letterbox thing. Show me. Let's just look him up. Casey Affleck. His brother, Ben Affleck. Now, this is Bigley. He was Robert Ford in this movie. Can you believe it? He's also in Interstellar and Oppenheimer as Boris Pash. I don't remember who that is. I think I remember these Oppenheimer names. Look, it's down here in 10th, this Jesse James movie. People really like this movie. I don't know. Coming from Blonde, I was like expecting it to be more artsy and abstract. It's really not. Like, these shots would lead you to believe it is. But I don't remember a lot of the shots in the movie looking like that. Like, this one always looks like this, but these other ones, I don't remember being blurry like this. But this is just a trailer or something. Unless it's like a 3D trailer or something. Anyway, it's very pretty. Look at how well shot it is. It's only 40 years after Blood Meridian's CeeLo build. Can you believe it? The performances are very good from both of them. I don't know. It's very long. Like, how long is it? Yeah, nearly 3 hours. I think it's another thing that by the end, the sort of inevitability of the spoiler in the title, like, kind of ruins it. Not as in it ruins the surprise, because it's not much of a surprise that it happens in the end. But it, like, limits the characters in a way where if you were writing an original script, I think maybe it would be a more interesting resolution for it not to happen or something like that. I guess it really just depends how much you know about it, because The Irishman is like that a little bit too, but because I didn't know anything about Jimmy Hoffa going into The Irishman, it caught me off guard, and I didn't expect it. Though that sort of has an inevitability towards it, but The Irishman is like the best film ever made, and this is just pretty good. This is definitely I could rewatch in the future and like a lot. Like, I feel like this is how I sort of felt about Apocalypse Now right after I saw it, where I was like, oh, 4 stars. But the more I think about Apocalypse Now and, like, I rewatch a lot of the scenes a lot, I feel like there are rewatchable scenes in this. Like, I feel like most of Brad Pitt's scenes are like, oh, this scene was so cool, brother. I remember when he talked cool to that one guy, and that one guy was scared, and he said, fuck you, pussy. and this dinner table scene where he's looking. There is also, I guess this is a through line with Blonde. With this Robert Ford character, there is like somewhat of a contemporaneous social commentary going on, where this guy is very much framed as sort of like a sycophant, because he is Robert Ford, of Jesse James. Now, this apparently was the case, and like he did idolize him as a kid or something in real life or something. That's part of the mythos here. So this is like based on a true story. These were real people, etc., etc. But it does seem to be some sort of commentary on like celebrity worship or something that feels a lot more modern in the way it's portrayed. Like he has like all the newspaper clippings that he reads all the time. Like you would have like pictures on your phone or something in modernity. And Blonde was like that too, more so with its like feminism angle, where it's very much. And I don't mind this at all. I know some people might have like moral issues with this or something, where it's not like accurate to like the biopic thing. Blonde is much more like this, where people are like, why don't you just leave Marilyn alone? She doesn't deserve this. And it's like, Blonde isn't about Marilyn Monroe, obviously. Shut up. But there's obviously like, I don't know. Because part of it feels like, if you're thinking of like vibes, part of it feels like trashy. But also, it's handled in such a way with like elegance where you're like, well, it's not trashy, but it is sort of like a conflict of things. Like it's a very basic like humanity insert into this like should be irreverent story or something. It is a very interesting idea. He is like a crazy guy. Like he's pretending he doesn't have a finger like him. And look, Brad Pitt's there being stoic and being scary and stuff, and you never know when he's gonna fly off the handle. I don't know, it was pretty cool, you know. You feel for the characters. There's a snake. He cuts the heads off those snakes. It's a little crazy. They hijack a train at the beginning. I will say it was 2.5 hours long. And I'm not going to say I didn't check how far along we were sometimes, but it was never boring. It was an easy watch, which is, I feel like I say that a lot for a lot of things right now. So yeah, that was cool. Also, it's funny because this like Jesse James guy is like remembered in like American folklore as like a positive thing, but it's clearly in the South because he's like, it's like 50 years after the Civil War and he's still got like Confederate sympathies. I'm like, well, you're canceled, brother. That's not very good in today's world. But anyway, 40 years after the judge dies, huh? Well, you'll have to find out. That's a great movie name. It is based on a book, so you can't give the movie name that much credit. Though in everything I've seen, people like hate the movie name. They're like, well, this is why the movie flopped, because your name is so pretentious. What a bunch of losers. But yeah, I definitely saw it and thought it was a cool name. Miller is linking a thing. We'll click on that in a second. Seeing any Western stuff now makes me depressed. My goodness, CeeLo Pilled is getting... The violence is... I warned you, CeeLo Pilled. But you can give your review of the book so far, CeeLo Pilled. I know everything about this book. You're not going to spoil me. What is this? Oh, no, not this guy. People are mad at me for using... Oh, no, he's cheating. We'll revisit this when I'm done with my movie and video games talk. But then, after this, we've got the Great Chunking Express. A coward for not giving 5 stars. This is in the polite society tier of, like, well, maybe I'll give it 5 stars, you know, eventually. Which, what do you call it? Polite Society does right now have 5 stars. This movie is so good. This is by the same guy that did In the Mood for Love, which we did a movie night about. This In the Mood for Love movie is like regarded as one of the best movies of all time. Everybody's got to watch it. It's going to have a 4.4 when we scroll down. I'm a genius. I know these things. This main character guy apparently was in Shang-Chi, so for the meatheads in chat, they might know that. This movie is like Cock Tease the Movie, where if you don't remember the premise and you didn't watch my great movie nights, these two are neighbors and they're married to other people, but his wife and her husband, they slowly figure out, are having an affair, and that's why they always like go on trips at the same time and stuff like that. And like sometimes they find each other's clothes and stuff like that. And basically they've gone on another trip, they realize that they're both getting cheated on, and they sort of hang out. And they kind of fall in love a little bit, but they don't do anything about it. I don't know if it's because they're the better people or whatever. It sucks. It's basically just like them being very sensual and nearly kissing forever. Maybe they kiss at one point, I don't remember. But there's no sex, like you'd be led to believe by this sexy poster here. And it's got like the greatest song of all time. Where's the song? We can't get rid of Nicholas Light. Miller will leave. I must have put this in a video. In the Mood for Love. I think this is a different song, actually. Is this the one? I think this has to be the one. Dum, boom, boom. Oh, no, this is a different one. But this one's really good, too. Very sad, you know? Is this going to be the one, though? Nah, this one. Boom, boom, dum, boom, boom, dum, boom, boom, dum, boom, dum, boom, boom. Imagine you're walking away from the love of your life because you just won't do anything about it. And, you know, you're just so melancholic about it. And we're about to cut to 10 years later, and you're nearly going to meet on a phone call one time, but you don't meet again. And it's just so... Anyway, this movie sucks. I hated this movie, you know. I want to see him kiss in the end. Sadly, Chungking Express doesn't have any kissing either. But anyway, this is from the same director, but Chungking Express is older and shorter, so I was like, this is great. Chungking Express is split into two. It's like a two-story movie where half the movie is about one and half the movie is about the other. And it's true like a love story. Two melancholic policemen fall in love with a mysterious underworld figure, the other with a beautiful ethereal server at a late-night restaurant. Where do we even start? I had a place, but then I forgot. What is the song that... Because both of them have, like, songs that they repeat. Though the second one, which is longer, it is... Oh, it's not like you're cutting back and forth between the two. It's, like, literally the first one happens for 50 minutes, then the second one happens for, like, an hour. Which I did like... I think I did like the structure of. The problem, maybe, is that the first one is obviously the better one. And it's the shorter one, maybe. But also, basically this movie sort of survives on both of the girls being really, really, really cool. And I think people like the dudes too. They're both very pretty Asian men. So the first girl is this, like, woman. And she's, like, got this blonde wig on in the middle of Hong Kong. This is a Chinese movie, by the way, if you hadn't figured that out yet. And the sunglasses, and she's, like, a drug smuggler. And she's, like... She calls them Indians, but I think they're supposed to be Pakistanis. And I think that part of the joke is that she's confusing them. And she's, like, immigrating them somewhere and trying to drug deal through them. And at some point, like... This white guy that it seems to be is her ex-boyfriend is, like, fucking her over, but also, like, he's, like, behind the thing. I don't know. It's not really explained too much. But this girl is just, like, the coolest character of all time. She doesn't talk much. And that's the other girl. But this is also... The first girl's also, like, 40. And it's basically the police officer, like, bumps into her and then, like, tries to seduce her at a bar and fails horribly, but then... They kind of have a thing. I don't know if, like, explaining the movie isn't going to help. It's just really well done in the payoff. Like, the end of their, like, not even romance. Because nothing even remotely romantic happens. There is teasers. Like, they are in a room alone together. But he just lets her, like, sleep. Because she's, like, drunk and tired. And then there's the second one, which is with this girl. And obviously you can tell this is a essentially shot movie. Is California Dreaming by... No, this one's a little different. Like, this girl keeps, like, sneaking into her, like, guy's apartment, though they're not, like, ever a thing. Cleaning for him, because he's, like, heartbroken over this air stewardess girl, and he doesn't notice that she's, like, she literally changes everything, and he doesn't notice, and it's obviously, like, a metaphor of her like, sneaking into his subconscious or whatever. And this is a part where she finds, like, a long hair and freaks out or something. The point is that both the girls are very cool, and that is like like they're very interesting, weird girls. Like the first girl is like this super stoic, like older Asian woman that's drug dealing and is wearing a wig, and it's like inexplicable, and she's like, I don't know, she's just really cool. And then this girl is like the sexiest girl you've ever seen in anything in your life. Apparently she's like a rock star. This is the woman's name. That's her male co-star. Oh, he's going to drive it and it's going to be the girl. Oh my god, it's a sexy backshot shot. Now you know why I like it. I don't know, it's just so good. There's like songs and music is really important in this movie. They just like sort of repeat it, which is funny because In the Mood for Love, the other movie, has like a great like OST, and all of these are insert songs. It's California Dreaming. It's this one girl's like the lead actress's cover of Dreams by the Cranberries that's like in Chinese. And then there is a song in the first part, but I forget what it was. Chungking Express song first part. Wait, what does this have on Letterboxd? 4.3, disgusting. It's obviously better than that shitty other one. Is it going to be this? Or is this going to be an OST song? I do remember this song. But I feel like they had an insert song for the first part. But everybody just wants to sing California Dreaming. Things in Life. Oh, I think it might be this one. I think it was like a sadder song. Yeah, it is this song. It's always playing at the bar they're always in. It's so cool. It feels like a misshapen like Tarantino movie a little bit, I think. Now obviously it has the split stories and the on insert songs and stuff like that. Also came out in 1994, can you believe it? Pulp Fiction's year. And I did watch a YouTube video of Quentin Tarantino literally talking about it, so shitty Forrest Gump, that's right, that did come out that year. I thought that said Casablanca for a second, but it just says Crooklyn. Which must be Brooklyn. Hey, this is that other guy's, this is the guy, the director we're talking about's other movie that came out this year. Does that mean Chungking Express is up here somewhere, or is it less popular than that one? Will we ever know such answers to such questions? Probably not. Anyway, this was the coolest movie. We love it. I feel like I explained the first one much better, but who knows? Anyway. Yeah, you know, it's pretty good. The thing that drew me in was the violent stuff, but the thing I like the most now is probably just how it's written, the vibes, and the mysteries, which will probably not be answered. Well, no spoilers on that front. I know, like, and because I've already had a bunch of them explain to me that, like, this, we're talking about Blood Meridian now, is, like, very, I was learning about this for the Chainsaw Man video. It's very intertextual, which means a lot of it is references to other things. Like, a lot of the story is, like, a reference to Moby Dick, and you sort of have to understand and have read Moby Dick to, like, get the references. The same with, like, Dante's Inferno, where I'm pretty sure now, I'm going to assume Ceiling Film is up to this part. But when they're talking about how they first met the judge, the gang at least, I don't know, I'll keep it vague for that, is a very obvious reference. Now, I'm saying this like I would have known. But everybody's like, oh, this is the most obvious reference in the novel. Is to a Dante's Inferno scene. And so I wonder how you would understand the book. It's as far as I understand, it's got a pretty, like, general surface layer that, like, you probably don't have to understand all these things to understand what's going on, but if that hasn't been explained to you beforehand, I think it might get complicated and stuff. Plus, like, the lack of quotation marks and commas and stuff. But yeah, are streams just movie nights now? They are. We've cancelled shitty movie night. We do them on streams now, as long as I'm watching movies. Now, we can talk about which movies are up next. Obviously, Rogue One is next. But, we got to keep, like, our little theme going here. And have a few movies between them. Now, we do have to, at some point, we're going to have to watch a bunch of Karaoke Kai in a row, though. But, movie night's cancelled. It's now game night. Because I finished the Donald Duck Going Quackers video game. What a video game. Towards the end, I wanted to kill myself because some of these levels... Oh, I've got so much to say about this. I figured out video games. Oh my god, look, we're getting Chunking Express videos here now. How Wong Kar remade Chunking Express with $0. This is crazy. Oh my god, that's the Quentin Tarantino talking about it.
Chungking Express. Now, Wong Kar-wai, for my money, is one of the most exciting filmmakers that has come out since I've personally been making films.
True. Oh my god, they cut and stuff. How dramatic, what great editing. What was I doing? Oh, Donald Duck. Now, I realize that this game has two names because it's one of the things where the European name... I think the European name is Quack Attack versus the American name is Going Quackers. Now, why? First of all, they're both pretty good. Second of all... Oh my god, yes! What a video game, chat. Let's get bobbing. Now, I 112%ed this game. It's even got the Crash Bandicoot going over 100% gimmick. Now, I'm sure Crash probably wasn't the first game to do that, but that's what I know it as. Those milkshakes, chat, especially when you're doing the time trials. He's got to get there. He got the teddy bear. What a man. I figured out that the reason why the 3D platformer corridor platformer died is because it's not difficult at all. Because this game is structured as in it has 4 worlds. Each world has, well, it technically has 6 levels if you include the boss and the bonus stage, but 4 default levels. Where's the warp room? Take me to the warp room. I need a... Here it is. Here's a warp room for you. Look at this. See? 2 on this side, 2 on this side. And then the boss one in the middle and the bonus level after you beat them all. Now, let me tell you something, brother. These first 2 levels, always perfect. 3D platforming, corridor, terrificness. We love it. It's not difficult at all. And therein lies the problem. 3D platforming, corridor platforming, isn't difficult. And that's why nobody makes games like this anymore. And that's why all the Crash hard levels have the part where you start in 3D, walking away from the camera, and then the hardest part is the 2D part. And I realized this. I was like, that is true for Crash 2. That is true for Crash Warped. In Crash 1, they even do like a top-down thing sometimes. And obviously there's the famous running towards the camera stuff. Which is the case. Every 5th level here is a running towards the camera level. Though I think, unironically, it might be this game's strongest suit is that these levels aren't miserable like they are in a lot of the Crash games. It's important to point out that this game comes out in 2000, which is 2 years after the 3rd Crash game. Which is why because they have this is for completing the level, this is for getting the 3 basically stars in the level, which are those toys. And then the 3rd one is for doing a time trial mode, which is obviously ripped from Crash 3. But I figured that out, and I was like sad when I realized that, and I was like, oh, that is true, huh? That's why like nobody makes games like this, is because when you're running towards the camera, or away from the camera in this 3D corridor-like section, I assume, well, he's gonna have the boss. No, he's doing the run away from the bear, run towards the camera thing. Press play. I need visual references here. Look at this dumb fucking bear. You gotta run away from it. And then he's gonna beat up this chicken. What a boss battle. You know, it beat me a few times. I got a game over like 3 times in this game. You know, no biggie. I'm pretty good at video games. You gotta dodge that chicken. He's difficult. Then you gotta jump on his head. You never saw that one coming. Now we should be in the city. Nope, we're changing things. See, this is a 3D platform where we're running towards the camera, you see. The problem is that jumps are not really difficult because they have to be overly obvious or they're going to be annoying. Sometimes you can make the platforms really small, and that is difficult, but you can usually see with the shadow. And you can't really do timing challenges here, which is like the hardest things in 2D platforming or in platformers. So you're always running towards the camera, and it's just easy. Like they try to speed you up there, or they try to make you jump too high on these things to try and throw you off balance or something. But it's just always super easy. You can get through it. I'm like the greatest 3D corridor platformer of all timer. That's me, chat. I can beat them all. 2D platformers I fucking hate. These are the most difficult video games of all time, and they make me throw controllers. But I realized like there's only so much you can do. Like the Like, the jumping stuff is never too difficult. The enemy stuff is never really difficult. Usually it's either you just jump over them, you can attack them really easy, or it's like a timing thing when they're coming at you, you can't hit them. You can only hit them when they turn back, which just means it's a boring wait and then go. Now, even this level, like, this part is obviously 2D now. A lot of the enemy designs are just reskins of Crash 2 and 3 things too. We're in 2D. This isn't helping my point, Donald. Here we go. We're back in 3D. Like, what do? You have a pit over here or a pit in the middle, and then you have a moving little dog guy there, but he's easy to beat. This guy you have to double jump onto and then jump on his stomach. That's literally a Crash 3 like enemy. Then you gotta. These are just stars, and these are checkpoint. It's like, what can you really put in the guy's way? Like, there's exploding TNT you've got to run up and hit here, and then you can go on the door and get the little thingy. Oh my god, he's got the 3 toys in the level. But in 2D shit, if we can go to the end here, why is this part so... Oh, this must be a difficult part? These were probably the most difficult, like, corridor things here. I don't know if people are... Oh, maybe it's the part after this. Or is it like the boss? No, I have no idea about this, because this is a corridor thingy again. I like... It's just cool, the corridor thing, though. You just run towards the camera, what's gonna come? It's epic. Crash was definitely more dynamic in how it tried to make the corridor stuff. Crash is a better game than this. I gave this game 3.5 stars. It was a lot of fun. It does feel like sort of a lost worst Crash game. So I am like cool with that. Now when you get to this shit and the whole level is just 2D, now this is difficulty, chat. You can't beat these fucking dumb jumping fish. These fucking shooting things. And especially when you got to go vertically and these things are shooting at you, you're going to want to kill yourself 3 different ways from Sunday, I'll tell you that much. And, this shit was difficult. And especially when you're doing the time trial and you got to do the whole thingy in one run. Those are also Crash things right there. Now, is there going to be a thing that I'm trying to talk about here? No, it's with the... It must be in the next level, I think. Or is this the last level? Oh, this is the last level. It is the level before this. Well, this kind of gets to it where you got to time like the jumping over and the jumping. Now, that was a simple one. Chat, don't call me a pussy because I couldn't do that one. It is definitely this level. No, this stuff was easy. Oh my god, I'm getting PT. This shit is like, when do you jump? When do you jump to avoid it? Like, Donald jumps slow, so you like got to plan it out. And that one you can't even see, and then you got to jump over it. And now you got to jump again really quickly. And then you gotta, this fucking idiot ain't gonna do shit. And then this one, do you jump now to try and avoid it? Or do you jump, now he's jumping to the side, that's clever. But this shit is difficult, chat, don't get it twisted. You can never do that. And this second one would always fuck me up, because I was like, I couldn't figure out if I was supposed to jump or just stay still and duck. It's a duck game. Let me tell you something, 2D platformers, they're more dynamic in gameplay, they're more difficult. 3D just makes it too easy. There's too much as a third plane for you to hide and avoid the enemies and avoid the ditches and stuff. So that's my TED talk on why corridor traditional 3D platformers die, because they're not very dynamic, whereas 2D is. I'm a genius. Anyway. Shitty Elite RE is here. He didn't watch my video. Where are we up to? Bring back movie night, Silepilled said. We did a movie night with Elite RE very recently. Oh, really? I've never read either of those things. Well, people talk about the Judge in relation to the whale from Moby Dick a lot, just because they're both very big and pale, and like the bad guys. But there's other things, like there's a more direct Moby Dick reference when they're on a beach one time. But yeah. I watched this Wendigoon video once I finished the book, so... Well, you can watch the Wendigoon video. The Wendigoon video, if you've read the book, is probably boring as fuck, because it is just like retelling the book for like 5 hours. That podcast by... They just changed their fucking name from Cinematography or whatever. I think it is like literally the second option if you look up Blood Meridian. Blood Meridian ending. Don't let Silepilled see it. Oh my god, it's not coming up. Hey, I watched this. She was cute. She talked about it. Can you believe it? There's the shitty Wendigoon video that we like. Okay, I'm not shitting on it. Where's the fucking video I'm looking for? You're making me a liar here. Oh my god, the test footage from the cancelled James Franco Blood Meridian movie. I've watched that. Better come up now. Kill yourself. Oh my god, Wendercoon's talking on a podcast about his video that blew up. Why is it not coming up? Why am I about to kill myself right now? Do I have to go... Is it still going to come up even though they changed their name? There you are. This one's much better. This one gets into like the reference and stuff, and it's like just a podcast breaking it down chapter by chapter. I did finish this video recently, so that's pretty epic. Anyway. Do you still watch that Destiny guy? I did because I forgot about my... Oh my god, I got to talk about forgetting subscriptions today. I forgot my anything else subscription was still going, and the new one came out, and I watched it, and it was like a great episode, and I was like, oh. So am I going to unsubscribe? Uh-oh. And then also, I have been watching some clips sometimes. But then I was watching a Destiny VOD, and he was watching this other show that I liked, where they were talking about politics, and then I was like, maybe I should watch these guys instead of Destiny. Now, Alita doesn't care about politics, so this isn't going to help him. But I don't know if Alita still watching. We haven't done it. Oh no, there's a Chainsaw Man chapter this week, and now I've just been reminded that my Wednesday is going to be fucking ruined because I have to do this fucking shitty Chainsaw Man chapter review. Anyway, clearly not. He's actually accomplishing things now. Well, no, when I'm playing this shitty Donald Duck game, no, I was catching up on kind of funny stuff. When I was playing that. Have you seen this, Ari? What is it? It's some Blind Wave drama. This is big. Blind Wave AMAs. Fateful Findings movie reactions. What is this? Is that what I'm supposed to look at? I don't get it. Alita, you explain it to us. Notice how all their staff is just their wives and Jake and his girlfriend. Well, it's a family business. That's just not true, Kyle. Crash has hard stuff in 3D. Not really. Well, first of all, Crash Bandicoot, easiest games of all time, can beat them all. What's the hardest Crash stuff? The shitty water stuff in Wrath of Cortex makes you want to kill yourself. Entirely 2D. All of, the whole last warp room of Crash 2 is either the 2D techno levels or the vehicle stuff. For Crash 3, there is some... First of all, Miller Killer hasn't played any Crash Bandicoot, so why the fuck's he yapping right now? It is definitely true in Crash 1, it is a lot less the case. But they are definitely more experimental with the types of things they do in Crash 1. Like, the hardest Crash 1 level is Stormy Ascent is entirely 2D. Uh-oh, Miller the Killer losing in real time. Better than that, those light levels, those are always 3D, but even then, it's it literally blinds you for a second to try and make the 3D platforming difficult. I can get how it could be difficult in, the Mario-style 3D platformers, where you're, running around and doing shit, but not when you're strictly in the corridor, because you can, see everything, and it's, I don't know. The bridge isn't easy. Well, the bridge isn't easy because you played the remakes and because the bridge levels are broken in the remakes because the jumping isn't designed for it because they put the Crash 3 jumping in Crash 1. If Miller the Killer even played these remakes, what's he talking about right now? Of course, Blind Wave leader Eric has the most asked questions. If I could ask a Blind Wave member a question, it would be Eric. I don't know what I would ask him. Have they ever answered the AMA? What are you talking about, Kyle? This is literally baby Looney Tunes game. Of course it's easy. First of all, it's not easy at all. Those 2D levels made me want to kill myself. The whole point is that the 3D levels are super easy. And it's not even that they're easy. It's that they're less dynamic and stuff. But I like them better because I don't actually like challenges. Video games shouldn't be challenging. Oh, on the video game front, also, before I fell asleep today, I started Rayman. Rayman kinda sucks, chat. I don't know. Are we gonna drop this game? I am excited to play Crash Twinsanity. I'm oh, what a video game. I remember how it looks. But I should probably do these two. I'm Croc was the one I was least interested at, but now it's way ahead of Rayman. Rayman's so slow and he can't even double jump and he punches weird. BMAS told me this game was great. Though we did talk about the visuals a lot, and that's what I remember liking. And the visuals are okay. Also, Rayman doesn't have DualShock to support. You can't use the analog sticks. Because Rayman is literally a launch PS1 game, though it was already on other systems before the PS1. The shitty Sega whatever that failed. So it is old. And it isn't really in this canon at all, because it is literally just a 2D platformer. It seems like it's trying to be like Donkey Kong, but with super slow movement, which is weird. And I literally just say that because the map is like Donkey Kong. I am feeling, especially after I put that Final Fantasy footage in my fucking Pokemon video, I'm like, oh my goodness, Chrono Trigger, Earthbound, Final Fantasy 6, Final Fantasy 7, anyone? All this shit would be fun anyway. But I don't know. I'll give Rayman at least one more shot, before I make a decision. Oh, when I tried to approach that cowardly Elite RE, I said a message to him. I said, "Hey pussy, when are we doing Naruto?" And he said, "No!" and then punched me. So everybody needs to DM Elite RE relentlessly, telling him, "Naruto now, please," so we can encourage him to start, okay? I even offered to do that shitty Avatar bullshit. And he said, "I'm too busy at the moment. I've got other things to watch." What the fuck does he have to watch? Some shitty pirate show. Who gives a fuck? Anyway. Also, Donald Duck, not a Looney Tunes, you fucking idiot. Miller the Killer, this is for their 10th anniversary or something. It must have been an AMA thing. Like, the amount of people complaining about the non-flood levels in Sunshine for their difficulty. Well, see, I was listening... Oh, Miller the Killer. We should have got Miller the Killer's opinions on this. Kind of funny, did like a whole games cast about what they're hoping for in the new Mario, 3D Mario. And a lot of it would have molded Miller, so that would have been funny. Where are they? The geniuses, the light of my eye. Hey, I didn't watch this. I can watch it now. No, it's always in live tab, chat. They don't upload videos. Don't be ridiculous. Where is it? This Mario thingy. Look at him. Tim's here with Blessing and Andy, and they're just talking through all of their Mario nonsense. They're like, "Oh my god, remember all these great Mario games, and how there's going to be a new one, and how is it just going to be an Mario 64 remake or something?" And they're like, Tim is convinced that the new Mario game is also a new Donkey Kong game. I don't know if anybody else is saying this, or if this is just a kind of funny thing, or if Miller the Killer is already like, "Yeah, we all know it's going to have Donkey Kong in it, bro." And Tim is like convinced that it's going to be like very, very, very much like the movie, and like so they can capitalize on the movie being very popular. And he thinks it's going to be Odyssey 2 more so than a new original type game. Now, why was I bringing this up? It was something. Oh, because Andy Cortez played Mario Sunshine like last year and famously thought it was like absolutely, absolutely dog shit. He said it was like a terrible video game and that everything in it was terrible. But he said the opposite. He was like, the only good levels in this game are when you don't have this shitty flood device. So that's funny because that jogged my memory here. Because Miller the Killer just said the amount of people complaining about non-flood levels in Sunshine for their difficulty. See, I just know everything. How topical. Maybe they put a YouTube short about it recently. We're talking about Blind Wave here. Can you believe it? Glad they didn't go to Star Wars Celebration so they could answer a Q&A. We hate Star Wars Celebration here. That shit's lame. Lol, I called Donald Duck Looney Tunes. It's Disney, even more, baby. Donald Duck is a great Disney, of course. He's a very little duck. He's quacks a lot, Well, the Judge and Satan was made in the same. The Judge and Satan was made in the same chapter with the hooves and the soot thing. Is that Adante's Inferno? Yes, the pissing and the soot thing. I think you are talking about that one. Why don't you guys just let the Chainsaw Man chapters build up so you have more to talk about? Because it is our weekly ritual. And did you see? We're famous. We got like 200 views on the last one or something. Why don't you drop it and read something with something to talk about? Well, we can find something to talk about. I didn't play the remake. Who do you think I am? Then Crash 1 bridge levels are so easy. They're like the best levels in the game. They're so fun. You just got to figure it out. What are you, fucking retarded? Is this like self-sabotage thing where you avoid consuming good things? Why are you so scared of Mario? Well, because I don't really want to play it. And I want to play these other things. But also, Mario 64 is being propelled by this Jak and Daxter Crash video that I want to make, which is like contingent on Jak and Daxter being like Mario 64. So I should probably verify that. Greg's such a Nintendo hater. I hate him. True, he isn't in this video here. Have I ever heard him talk about Mario Odyssey before? I think so. I think he probably like said it was good. You know who's a real Nintendo hater, like a real one, who like Colin Moriarty has played. He says he's played like 20 minutes of Switch in his whole like life or something. It's like crazy how much he's like, Nintendo's doing their own thing over there. They suck. And even his co-hosts are like, man, that's just not cool. We love the Nintendo Switch here. And he's like, yeah, I don't play that shit. And he's like, I love PlayStation. Kill yourself. It's very funny. Unless you thought Andy was Nick, because Andy was... Oh, Nick? Nick's the other guy. He doesn't even talk about video games. Oh my god, Miller Killer. Also... Now we're going flat. But this is really all I had to talk about. The Oscar video, who cares? They also did their Marvel movie re-rank. This is the ad-free version. I was like, why the fuck is... I watched that video. Wait, why... Where's the... Huh? Oh, was it uploaded? Oh, I think it was uploaded, actually. Yeah, because that would have been live. There we go. Everybody calm down. Where they're ranking all of the Marvel movies. Now, this is their ranking and their, like, movie thing. Like, their... Just give me the fucking whole ranking, you piece of shit. Is very, very interesting. So, first of all, Miller's not going to like this. Endgame, they think, is legitimately, like, the greatest movie of all time. But also, they've included all this, like, other, like, Spider-Mans and X-Men's in here. And they hate all of them. They, like, legitimately think all of the Spider-Man movies, especially the Sam Raimi ones, are terrible. Like, Spider-Man... Now, how they did this is they all did their lists and then they did, like, numbers. So, Spider-Man 2 is only at 26 because Greg Miller really likes it. Everybody else put it at, like, 40. They're very MCU-pilled. Now, obviously, besides Logan and Spider-Verse here. I don't think anybody's disagreeing with this stuff at the bottom. They really hated all these X-Men movies. Like X2 is up here, but it is, again, I think just Greg Miller really likes it because he's old. And everybody else had it terrible. They really do like Amazing Spider-Man more than I expected them to. This is also only up here because one of them liked it a lot and the rest of them hated it. There's also some other things. Like, they really, really, really like Civil War, whereas I feel like most people are like, Civil War was kind of okay. And everybody obviously likes, like, Infinity War and Winter Soldier the most. They also like Guardians 2 the most, which, is pretty based, even though I haven't seen 3. They like Deadpool 3, Don't Tell Elite RE. He thought it was like a 1-star movie or something. They had the second Spider-Man somewhere that was really low to me, and I wasn't liking it. Far From Home, 21. Obviously, this movie's sick. Remember those crazy, trippy stuff? Basically, they are, and this is true in all of their, like, media discussion, they are very, very, like, new is good, old is bad in a lot of regards. Like, if Greg Miller played, like, and this is, like, he hates, like, Shadow of the Colossus because it feels like a PS2 game. And to him, that's, like, the worst thing a game can be like. It's very interesting. Colin Moriarty is very much like that, too. They were very much like that when they were together. They have been referencing each other a lot recently, which is kind of cute. I don't know. I'm sure maybe people would have some things to say about this. Isn't Jak 1 open world, whereas Mario 64 is individual levels? Kind of, yeah. Infinity War better be number 1, bruh. No Way Home is an Infinity War, clearly the best. Spider-Verse and Logan are so overrated. Guardians 3 is so low. What the hell? Spider-Man 3 is great. Deadpool 3 over Guardians 3 is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Guardians 3 worst Guardians, brother. Yeah, fuck this dumb Rocket Raccoon and his sad backstory. We hate that shit. Days of Future Past is really low because one of them hates it. It's very funny. Because after they finished all the X-Men movies, they legitimately said, like, none of these movies are any good. And they're all bad. I think generally they agreed. Because basically they had a ranking where they would, like, at the end of every episode, just, like, vote. They would say, like, okay, we've just ranked Venom 3. And you would go, like, literally from the bottom and say, is Venom 3 better than Elektra? Everybody would say yes. And then you get to here, and it's like, is Venom 3 better than Captain Marvel? And if 2 of them said yes and 2 of them said no, then it would go, like, underneath. So it was, like, all kind of fucked up. So I think like on their X-Men individual ranking, like First Class was number 1, but like Days of Future Past is over here or something. They do this for a bunch of shit. It is cool. Like they did do this for Star Wars. I don't remember what their Star Wars ranking was. They are also teasing that they will be coming out at some point this year with a top 100 games of all time list, which is very interesting. Like a bunch of them are playing like a bunch of old games. It is very interesting. They were stagnated on like just under 200,000 subscribers for like 7 years after Colin left. Like they had like no growth in terms of subscribers. Now they've always had a very healthy Patreon, and I feel like all of their videos got like 15k views. And it was like a very healthy, dedicated fan base. And they have started like growing a lot recently, which is very interesting. They brought like some new people on. I don't know. The Kind of Funny sphere is an interesting one. And obviously I've dipped in and out like for years at a time. I don't know. It'd be interesting if somebody made like a retrospective or something that I'd been watching the whole time. Anyway. Yeah, I watched a bunch of these videos. I know about the rankings. Okay, Miller the Killer, no need to brag. Why do you think they like The Last of Us, lol? They like that it looks good. For like the game or the TV show? These videos are good at the very start. In the end, the problem is 90% of the video is line-by-line recap. Well, that is sort of the, like, to the Kind of Funny fans, that's like the appeal, because Nick does the plot or whatever, and he's funny. I don't know, I like that part. It does drag a little. I don't know. I usually like them when I watch them. Like, I watched a bunch of the Star Wars ones when me and Alita were doing that. I've seen all the Harry Potter ones. I definitely watched all of the MCU ones up to a point. And then I obviously missed a bunch. But yeah, they do a bunch of those fucking things. In review, they call it. This game show they do is really cool, too. Where is it? It's got to be here fucking somewhere. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We're going flat at an alarming rate, chat. Oh, do we have to watch this video?
So, in case you guys don't know, I have been very busy. I've been watching One Piece, watching One Piece every single day for the past 14 days. I'm doing it for another, 15 days. And, I haven't really uploaded on my second channel. I plan on changing that on February 1st. I want to release a video a day for the rest of the year.
That's fucked up.
Who knows? Maybe
I'll do it. We need our uploads, goddammit.
Controversy, guys. Nicholas Light got into some controversy. Oh my god, what else is new, right? But, when don't I get fucking controversy, right, guys? I breathe the wrong way I get in controversy. But, I'm about to finish Dressrosa tomorrow, and
it's true.
That's a problem because I'm using One Piece. And, yeah, people aren't happy about that. There's half love it, half hate it. And they say I'm not a true One Piece fan, but I watched a video by Cy V Duck. I think that's his YouTube name. I'll link it down below. But he said it best. People call you not a real fan if you use One Piece, but One Piece is the closest to the manga. You want to criticize people for watching One Piece and cutting the story.
True, the manga is the original, and you're only a true fan if you read the manga.
Read the manga because it cuts the story. I mean, that's the original source material, so it's not really cutting the story. If anything, One Piece, the anime.
Alita be like, why would you value the original source material? The future of Pokemon and how we got here. Oh my god.
It's not from the original. So there's no calling people fake One Piece fans if they use One Piece or manga, whatever. We're all enjoyers of One Piece, and at the end of the day, it's about if you enjoy the story or not. And I'm really fucking enjoying One Piece to the point where it's my number one. I'm calling it number One Piece. Dressrosa is literally like my favorite fucking arc because of One Piece.
What? The birdcage question mark?
If I wasn't using One Piece, that might not be the case. You know what I mean?
No, we're really going flat.
Dofi, number one villain. I fucking love him.
We love Doflamingo. He's just so cool. Oh my god, we're up to 400 views now. We keep going up. Anyway, that's our second battery warning, goddammit. Did you see Greg's message to James Gunn? Oh yeah, that was really funny. Out of context, I feel like that could have been really cringe. But in the context of the actual show, that was like a really funny bit. Oh, I bet Miller hated that. I bet it was terrible. It was like a good speech about, like, because that was on the back of a story of like, basically them interpreting it as like every single Warner Brothers gaming studio, which is like Rocksteady, Avalanche, there's like a bunch of them, are all shutting down in like the next year and a half or something. That was like the takeaway they had. Which was very interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Did he hate that Miller the Killer? Yeah, Warner Brothers games are screwed. Maybe Miller didn't hate it. These people are so evil. Who are we talking about? The One Piece people? I'm finishing my Chimera Aunt rewatch this week unless Film Buff goes on another hiatus. O'Leary thinks he's rewatching something by watching reactions. Embarrassing. Hillary skipped Long Ring Long Land. Don't say you like the manga, idiot. That's very funny. I thought it was cute. Yeah, that was a funny bit in the thingy. It's funny how he put in, like, James Gunn sometimes hearts his stuff when he sends it to him on Twitter, which is funny. Greg Miller does have a bunch of weird connections that are, like, actually famous people. Like, he is just friends with, like, Phil Spencer and shit like that. And, like, he can get Shuei Yoshida to do his first interview after leaving PlayStation. And everybody talks about it. It's kind of crazy. I already kissed. Anyway, what a great stream. When I've consumed stuff, there's just so much to talk about. Imagine if it was relevant things that people like. Yeah, he hosts award shows and shit. Yeah, he's hosting, like, the DICE Awards, like, soon or something. And he's on WWE all the time, too. Weird. Anyway, I don't know when we'll stream again. Probably when I record the next script, which, you know, you would think would be tomorrow, but I have to work 9.5 hours tomorrow, so probably not. Short Shillings Hart, yeah, he's on like, it's not on the actual WWE show, but he does interviews for them on, like, their YouTube channel and stuff. But anyway, we will always see you next time. Bye bye.